Okay, so back at it again with not a list, but more of a rant video where
Just talking.
we're just gonna be talking about some absolutely broken anime characters from their respective universes. We're not gonna be talking about them in like the grand scheme. We're just gonna be talking about them like in lore. So like they might not compare. They
Saitama.
might not compare to like Goku or like
Saitama.
Saitama or Jiren and stuff. But like given the situations that they're being presented in, this is these are some characters from pretty much shonen anime that we've
Are
deemed
broken in
to
their
be
own universe.
absolutely fucking nutso.
For what?
So
For one reason or another.
for one reason or another. So with that being said, Maka, if you want to start it off with one character from your list, we're just gonna keep
Yeah,
alternating and just like
yeah,
kind of talk about whatever, just for fun.
yeah. Right. We're in the list channel, right?
hmm
Okay. Yeah, actually, it's funny you brought him up because I actually wanted to start with Goku real quick.
Yeah, he was actually on. He was actually on my list too.
Yeah, yeah.
He's
Goku's
he's so nuts.
Goku's kind of a cheat code.
Yeah. Um.
I hold on. Because I made that.
Zenkai is kind of busted as a
Is it?
mechanic.
Kaio what?
I made that graphic for Goku Day, just kind of like wanking him off. So I'll just pull stuff from that. Um, yeah, it took Roshi like 50 years to make the Kamehameha, and then Goku does it perfectly after seeing it once. Um, and then he just goes around for the rest of the series stealing people's moves. In the manga, he creates like a bootleg version of Hakai, which actually works on Merge Zamasu. The only reason it didn't kill him is because the guy can regenerate.
Wait, that's actually kind of cool. I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to like talk about Zenkai in general is
Hmm.
a very stupid mechanic. Like it is so fucking good. Like
Is
not
that
it doesn't
imagine?
even have to be Goku, but because Goku is the way he is and he's always seeking a challenge, he gets more Zenkai boosts out of probably any Saiyan warrior ever.
Easy.
Like easily. Like even Vegeta because Vegeta knows when to like back down, I guess, or he doesn't fight as much as Goku, but Goku like always is looking for something.
Yeah.
So like he just always stacks boosts on top of boosts. And then you have
Okay.
Tournament of Power where he
Oh my
literally gets
god.
like
Oh
four
my god.
four transformations in that one fucking 45-minute span and basically achieves a perfected state of ultimate being.
That
Yeah,
millions of years old gods couldn't do.
He did it in 42 minutes.
imagine just Zenkai boosting your way to W's. Oh,
Literally, that's like what he does. It's really funny. And
he
he
gets
To the
actually
beaten, bounces back, buffs himself. GG.
and it's to the point where like base Goku by the end of the tournament is stronger than Kaioken Blue Goku was at the start of the tournament.
it's so
It's so
stupid.
unfair.
He is so fucking broke.
Like fighting Goku as like any other universe that's not 11 must be so scary. It's just this guy that just gets high off of beating your ass. He's strong as hell and he's just smiling at you while he's
Doing it
destroying your
while he's
entire
pounding
universe.
your
And
He
the more
waves
you
at you from behind when he's clapping your cheeks.
and and the more you
Hey,
beat him
it's
up,
me,
the more
Goku.
he wants to fight you.
Hi, I'm Goku. Literally,
Oh shit!
Yeah, that's Goku though. I mean, it's fucking
literally
Goku.
hires one of the
What?
most lethal assassins to clap his cheeks, and then he comes back. He hires him to kill him just so he can fight him.
He
Oh,
literally, yeah,
Full
he
no.
power.
literally hires an assassin on himself. All right.
What a chill.
Let me give you guys a character. So, we've never talked about him on a list, and I've been dying to talk about him.
Oh,
We're
oh,
gonna
are we
talk
doing this
about
already?
Obito.
Oh God! We're doing this
Okay.
already. Go ahead, buddy. Go ahead.
Obito is so
He's
fucking
unfair.
broken. He is so stupid, dude. I've been dying to talk about him on a list forever. And
Oh
it's
shit!
like, okay. So, first of all, he's an Uchiha. Of course, right?
Instant W.
Instant dub. Instant dub. Like fat dubs for Obito. We haven't really covered like anything about him, but basically he's the
What?
he was like the main antagonist for a long time until Madara was like sup. And
Yeah.
watched his simp target get killed in front of him.
We went over him when I like did that whole
Yeah,
speech
yeah.
on Kakashi
So
way back.
let's talk about what he has then. Hashirama cells, Sharingan,
Instant W.
um,
Another instant W.
Kamui, fucking, which is one of the most broken techniques in the entire Naruto verse, mind you. Let's just keep that. Keep that in perspective. Do you understand that Obito probably would have won the entire fourth Great Ninja War if Kakashi was not there?
They literally could not do
They
anything.
No, he's
literally
something
would
of
not
an
have been able to
Uchiha
do anything
himself.
because
And
only
also, because like remember when he was fighting Minato? First of all, he fought the fourth Hokage, right? Broken in his own right. Fourth Hokage,
like instant
fa-
teleportation, like
who can teleport, and even without the teleportation, he's faster than the Raikage with the lightning cloak, who's light speed, by the way,
yeah.
literally faster than light. Obito was fighting Minato and like gave Minato a run for his life when he was 14. So dumb. Granted, he was being buffed by Zetsu, right? But still, he keeps that buff for like the rest of his life. So you have to give that to Obito. And also throughout that fight, he was using Kamui without his Mangekyo. He was just doing it with his base Sharingan. And it was
Yeah.
a way better version than Kakashi had. It's so ridiculous.
he's just absolutely fucking like
As
borked beyond belief.
stated to have the best Genjutsu in the series, above Itachi, who can literally transport you to an alternate reality for 3 days straight.
And
Like,
then he gets a Rinnegan on top of that. And then he gets a Rinnegan on top of that. Like,
his 6 paths become like the tailed beasts. The reason why he didn't use like the rest of the Rinnegan's abilities is because using the tailed beasts as his like paths of pain was taking up so much chakra that he had to focus on that.
oh my god, this was so fucking funny.
It's ridiculous. And then he becomes the Jinchuriki for the Ten Tails.
Yeah, he becomes
like,
Jubito
hello?
after that and absorbs the God Tree. Like, oh my god.
Not even fair.
And then Naruto comes in and talk no jutsus him a little bit, and it's just like, yeah, whatever.
So that's not even that's the most broken thing he does, right?
Refresh.
It's after Naruto talk no jutsu him, and they're all fighting Kaguya. And then Obito dies, right? He dies saving like Kakashi's life. Kaguya throws like 2 truth-seeking like spears at Kakashi and Obito, and Obito Kamui's the one going towards Kakashi into himself, so he dies, right?
Yeah.
And then the fight keeps going on, and Naruto and Sasuke they're fighting Kaguya. Kakashi's like, oh well, I can't really do crap right now, and then dead Obito, I shit you not, he Kamui's himself out of the afterlife to give Kakashi his other Sharingan.
I'm fucking dead. He literally can't be stopped by death.
Like on some Spriter shit, he just come. You know how like when we joke in like RPs and we say like, oh you get yeeted out of the RP and then
you come back next episode. No, he literally came back next episode.
Comes back. He gives Kakashi his other Sharingan, and then on top of that, that Sharingan lets Kakashi use Perfect Susanoo without being eternal for whatever reason. Like this is the base Mangekyo, which like not even Madara was able to do. He needed to steal his brother's eyes and use the eternal Mangekyo to get the perfect Susanoo. Obito just does it with his normal Mangekyo because he's broken, I guess.
And then oh my god, dude! And you know what I love about him? He's actually like extremely intelligent, right? He stores shurikens in the Kamui dimension and throws them like out of the Kamui dimension. So shurikens are just fucking coming out of nowhere, just fucking throwing them all over the place. And then like he has Yin Yang release, which is like really good.
Oh my god.
Fire, earth, just like all sorts of fucking shit. But Kamui is like really what puts Obito like this like as this broken thing because he makes himself intangible. For those that don't know, Kamui is like this ability that lets him transport his body into another dimension or
You
store
can
things in this other dimension,
Another dimension.
like a pocket dimension of sorts. And he can kind of just do it whenever he wants. Like, there was this scene when he was fighting against Conan of the Akatsuki, and Conan big-brained the shit out of him and set up a sea made of billions of paper bombs. Billions, right? That's a big number. That's like 7 zeros, right? And fucking Obito Kamui's himself into the dimension. He can only do it for a certain amount of time, but he did it just to escape this thing, and then just uses Izanagi, sacrificing one of his eyes or something like that, to just
Yeah.
be like, hey, guess what? That didn't work. Like he has that too. He's just stupid. Like,
It's
so fucking
ridiculous.
broken.
He
I
doesn't
wanted to
even-
talk about him for a while.
doesn't even need Izanagi. It's just stupid. I'm gonna say something else. I forgot now. Yeah,
Nice.
that's all I got. I forgot. He's ridiculous. If you watch Naruto, you get it.
Yeah, like Obito is like just ridiculously good. Oh, doesn't he have paths too? Doesn't he have like 6 paths?
Because he had the Rinnegan, his 6 paths of pain. Like I said, it was the
Oh
they
my
were they were the tail beasts. Oh, that's what I
Oh.
wanted to mention. He genjutsu the 9 tails with his base Sharingan. The 9 tails, bro. Like the borderline planetary 9 tails. Like, hello?
So busted.
Ridiculous.
He seals the once it becomes 10 tails Jinchuriki, it's just like, yeah, okay, that's it. It's over. It's true seeking orbs, fucking literally everything. Like, he just has everything.
Yeah,
The
on
only
top of
reason
that.
why he was defeated was because Kakashi had the Sharingan that was his.
Yeah.
If he didn't have that, it was a wrap.
They lost. Like, Kakashi actually saved the world.
Yeah, literally Kakashi's broken. Kakashi's broken. Kakashi's broken because Obito's broken. All right, you want to pull one from Acheron? Do you have anyone you want to like talk about?
Okay, so do we want to talk about the character they literally had to write out of the plot? Do we want to talk
Oh,
about
he's on my
Brando,
list.
or do we want to talk about Gilgamesh?
Well, let's talk about Gilgamesh because I don't know anything about him.
Okay.
I love Gilgamesh. I haven't even finished Fate Zero. I love Gilgamesh so much. Please talk
So
about
let's
Gilgamesh.
talk about our boy here, Gilgamesh. He is
He's
effective.
such a dick. I love him.
Yeah,
Every
Okay.
word out of this dude's mouth, no matter what he's talking about, he like when he's giving Kirei life advice, even when he's doing that, just everything he says is in some way tailored to make you know how much better than you he is. It's
Mind you,
amazing.
That's because it's relatively true. This guy is the king of heroes. He is literally, like, I think 2/3 god, 1/3 human. Okay, so let's get into the fun stuff. And this mainly regards his noble phantasm, which is Gate of Babylon, which is basically his whole thing is the King of Heroes is he's collected all the treasures in the world. He's stated this several times, if you remember, right?
Yeah.
So his noble phantasm literally is a bunch of noble phantasms.
Yeah,
He
it's
is
just-
able
it's
to
so
literally
stupid.
throw weapons. He's literally just able to volley the shit out of people with swords in his universe.
Archer my ass.
No, as long as you throw something, you're an archer.
Yeah, sure. Just let me just become a million swordsmen at once.
that sounds kind of
Okay.
stupid.
He's dumb. He's so cool though.
He basically talks down to everyone that does, like, he calls them mongrels, so forth.
You think Zamasu has his own head up his ass? No, he has nothing on Gilgamesh, bro.
Now, is it like Gilgamesh has enough ass space to put like 3 heads of him, and he still finds a way to clog it up? Like,
Yes.
But yeah, his noble phantasm is literally a bunch of noble phantasms. He is able to summon a bunch of different weapons and literally just rain hell down upon you, and which in his universe is pretty nutty as is. Because if you do watch Fate Zero, highly recommend. He literally can decimate nearly anyone in a 1v1 match. The only person he couldn't was someone that, unfortunately. Okay, we'll talk about that. Actually, no, I'll save that. Maka doesn't won't want to get spoiled on that one.
Oh shit. Yeah, I should.
Uh-oh.
gonna keep watching Fate Zero tomorrow since I finished FF7.
But yeah, this lad.
I don't know anything
He-
about Fate, so like I'm a little like off the loop with
So,
this
okay,
one.
so heroic spirits are basically people that have left a mark on history. Most of them are. There's some exceptions to this. Like there's actual like historical figures. So like Da Vinci is technically a heroic spirit, but then you get stuff that's like Emiya, for example, and
Yeah.
he's a heroic spirit, but he's not an actual historical figure. And that so each heroic spirit has their own defining noble phantasm. Like I've said before, Gilgamesh is literally that he has a bunch of noble phantasms. He is the king of heroes, so effectively he has access to almost everyone's noble phantasm.
Oh, that's
Literally,
busted.
if you ever watch the original Fate Stay Night, he literally kills one of the he kills Lancer with a
his
noble
own.
phantasm from one of his like another heroic spirit, which is related
Oh.
to Kakulin's tale.
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ. So he
Yeah.
just has like a bunch of abilities and he's able to use them against people.
He's able to literally
Yeah.
just throw them at you mercilessly. He doesn't even know how to really wield the weapons, so to speak. He just throws them at you.
You know the meme where like people say Jotaro's real stand power is to steal other people's stand powers? This guy
Yeah,
did it first.
That's literally Gilgamesh literally is this. He has access to nearly every noble phantasm out there. He doesn't know how to like wield them he's not a master of it, but he can wield them.
It doesn't really matter because he can just chuck it
Yeah.
at you. and-
When most servants literally have maybe one or two noble phantasms, this guy literally can just keep throwing different ones at you until you die. And on top of that, there's some servants have access to these things called reality marbles, which literally distort reality. Gilgamesh has this sword called Ea, which literally is able to break reality itself.
What?
He's OD.
That's crazy.
Like his weapon Ea is literally categorized as an anti-world noble phantasm.
Jesus Christ. This sounds cool. I might have to watch this series.
It
now.
isn't able to technically it couldn't destroy the earth, but it's able to disrupt reality and it's able to like show the truth, so to speak.
I mean, like, I feel like reality warping is way more like
No,
powerful
like he literally
and
slaps
terrifying.
reality back to how it should be.
Oh shit. I might have to watch this series now.
He's nutty. Like the only people that have ever beaten him are this other. Literally, he only loses because he gets cocky. I'm not joking. His personality is literally he's a very like Maka said. He's got his head up his ass like 3 times over, and that's the only reason he ever loses because he thinks he's too like he doesn't view anyone as his equal aside from one character which was related to him, like his best friend Enkidu,
Yeah.
and that's related to his own, the Epic of Gilgamesh.
Ah, I see. Okay. All right.
So yeah, busted ass piece of shit throws swords, anything at you really,
Awesome.
and laughs while doing it.
Interesting. I'm gonna put this on my list for sure. Like,
Definitely, just
For
for
Fate.
Gilgamesh alone,
I'll start it soon.
Gilgamesh is like cash money. He
All right.
literally wears cash money. His armor's gold.
All right, Maka, what do you got? You got anyone else?
Yeah, I got a bunch of. Well, let me take Goku off the list so I don't repeat. Okay, yeah. This is gonna be really quick. It's kind of obvious why he's on here. I mean, like, come on.
Oh yeah, come on.
GDR,
Yeah, Gold Experience
GDR
Requiem.
is
G.I. Giorno.
absolutely stupid.
I, Giorno Giovanna, have a piano.
It's literally know the ability. That's all there is to it. and
It's
that's all
Literally,
there
yeah,
the,
is.
the
that's about
only
it.
thing that ever beats Know the Ability is literally a video game character they designed to be better than him in any way, and then he gets one.
And then he gets one tapped by Jotaro.
Oh, I hate this
Right now,
character.
Jotaro.
You know what, whatever. Stop.
Nani?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
good. That's doing it.
I want to talk about a Kill a Kill character.
Oh
Okay.
boy, KLK. Here we
Rockio?
go.
Oh, yeah.
This bitch
Yeah.
is broken.
He doesn't die.
She can't
He's-
die.
He can't. I forgot.
I kind of
is
just
very-
I had to bring this up because like she literally gets her arm sliced off by
Ryuko.
Ryuko, And
she just
she's
shrugs.
bleeding all over the place, and she's more upset about the fact that she can't make more clothes with her arms and the fact that she got her arms chopped off in the first place. She doesn't care.
Yeah.
She doesn't feel pain. She doesn't die. She's devil. Like, she's just, I don't know what's up with her, but she's crazy.
She's
Remember,
nuts.
remember,
Whoa,
what she,
whoa, whoa.
look, yeah, go back. Look at that. She's ripping her own heart out, and she has a smile on her face while she's doing it. Like, what the fuck? Like, remember when she first showed up in the series, and she just absolutely clapped a fucking berserk Senketsu controlled fucking Ryuko.
Yeah.
Just like no effort. Like, she just does it. She's
It's
absolutely
nuts.
busted. Like, in her own universe. Like yeah, she doesn't really do anything like spectacular. She's just like pretty much immortal. Acker, you have
Crazy.
anyone else you want to talk about?
I thought Mako was. Oh wait, you did.
I just did
her.
Nui. Yeah.
All right, so Dio or Cars? Your call.
Do you Cars?
Let's talk about Cars. I don't think we ever talked about him.
Yeah.
On this.
Okay,
Cars.
Cars.
Yeah,
Ultimate
is on my list too,
Cars.
so let's go.
Ultimate fucking Cars. Literally so busted that Araki had to bullshit him out of the plot.
See, here's the thing. When you said that at first, I thought you were talking about Fugo.
So did I.
No.
Because
Freaking Cars?
Fugo's on my list.
Dude, Cars would clap that boy. I feel like Cars
Hell
would just
yeah.
fucking-
Can you
And
like
that's
can you give me a refresher on like what Ultimate Cars does? And don't say yes. Like I want like
Everything.
an actual.
No, the answer literally is yes.
Wait,
does
really?
He's
everything.
the perfect life form. He has no flaws. Vampires already are busted enough in that literally, they have next to no weakness aside from the sun. They are super agile. They're able to like distort their bodies in weird ways. They can literally just suck your life essence out. But then Cars here just literally goes ultimate Cars mode. No longer has a weakness to the sun. Assimilates all of the most potent traits from every life form out there and is able to create life itself. Remember? He just creates a squirrel and it goes to town.
That was funny, yeah.
And mind you, once he goes ultimate, it gives him access to Ha mode. He is able to wield Ha mode
And then
as a
he just has
vampire.
the
Oh, yeah,
strongest
that's right.
Hamon in the series.
The only
Like,
weakness that he had, he was able to control it and then be the best there ever
He
was with it.
overcame. Yeah, he literally is the best at everything he ever does.
He became
because
so
he-
strong he stole Joseph's bullshit.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
And then
Not
Jo-
quite. Not
and then
quite.
Joseph's like reverse.
Here's some new bullshit.
But mind you, Cars literally never lost, so to
Yeah.
speak. He
Yeah.
got thrown into space. He never died. He is still out there alive. He just stopped thinking.
until Poochie reset the entire universe. Man.
Yeah, and then he just gets thrown into space again. There's
Poochie.
literally, I don't know if there's a manga for this or so forth, but there are literally an entire colony of cars that have landed on Mars. Like they all drift out into space and apparently land on Mars because apparently Mars is the only place that Poochie's reset doesn't reach.
Oh,
What?
So there's
What?
literally a whole colony of cars out there.
Cars on Mars. Cars on Mars. Cars on Mars.
I didn't even know that. What?
That's-
Yeah,
yeah,
but
that's kinda crazy.
It's in a spin-off. And then one of the cars actually comes back to Earth, but he's actually a good guy. And he's literally next unbeatable.
Well,
Wow.
yeah. I mean, if he's basically can do anything and everything, then isn't that technically omnipotent?
Yeah, he's literally the strongest character in the series. They just it was so bad they had to write him out. Araki's like, oh shit, I just made him too good.
Yeah,
And
for real. That's crazy.
So yeah, Cars.
Zodi.
All right, Maka, what you got?
Oh, it's back to me. We'll just finish up the JoJo characters. I'll just do all the JoJo
gotta
Are
characters.
you
we're
just
gonna
gonna
do
post
Fugo?
Jotaro? You just gonna-
No, not Fugo. Fugo's not on my list. You can
Jotaro,
deal with.
Dio, Jotaro.
No, we're gonna finally talk about this broken ass.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
Rohan.
ridiculous stand that could have ended pretty much any part in one episode.
That's kind of why Kira got to him first. Think about
He-
that.
He like
I
I don't
refuse.
know Cheap Trick. He rewrote Cheap Trick to go to hell.
Go to hell.
Like, are you kidding me?
The only time he was Kira and that one rock paper scissors kid that he had to cheat.
Yeah, like, and at first I thought like uh I thought Heaven's Door would be like limited to stuff that can reasonably happen like within the context of the situation, but no, because when he gets like trapped in the like the tunnel with that stand that creates like the special room and stuff,
He
he just
literally
like
launches.
he just
freaking-
launches himself forward at like 80 kilometers an hour or something for like no reason. So no, there's like it feels like there's no limit on Heaven's Door almost, or we just don't know what the limit is. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, Heaven's Door.
Broken stand.
Heaven's Door is actually a fucking ridiculous stand.
It's a nutty stand, but it
One of my
requires
favorites
him
too.
Dude, remember how bad the original one was, though? He literally had to show you the manuscript, and then
Yeah.
freaking Josuke just because he was blind in it.
Yeah, that was the funny. I want to talk about that scene real quick because that's really funny. Josuke got his hair insulted so bad that he went into a literal blinding
Blind
rage and beat the shit out of Rohan without seeing the manuscript. It was so
Incredible.
funny. It was
He's
so
my
great.
sec-
I love
he's my
part 4.
second favorite JoJo.
I love part 4. He's so funny.
Yeah, he seems like the most Maka character out there.
Nice.
Literally
Rohan's
gets into a gambling thing with Josuke, starts laughing, and then stabs himself.
All right. I want to talk about a character from Full Metal Alchemist real quick.
Oh, which one is this?
Leg, arm, leg.
We're gonna talk about Pride.
Oh,
Oh.
pride.
This fucking kid actually never lost. Like
Nice.
he
Good
just
back.
like
Isn't this Ezekiel?
pretty much he's Ezekiel.
Yeah.
Look at his fucking face. Look at this smug aura. He is the first homunculus. He was posing as Bradley's son. So Bradley also being one of the homunculus, but this kid never actually lost in a fight. He got cheesed.
Oh.
He basically controls shadows, and in this universe where like you're only limited to what you can do based on the elements around you, being in a shadow is like almost like impossible to avoid. So the fact that
oh my god.
So
wait, what?
the fact that Selim Bradley is a fucking living, walking shadow that can just murder you whenever you want,
Yeah, wait, what the fuck?
you can't hit him. You can't do
Some-
anything to him. It's unfair.
Wait, what do you do?
What do you do? Exactly. He had to get cheesed by fucking Hohenheim. Which I mean, I'm not gonna say anything because Maka's
Yeah,
gonna
I'm
watch
gonna-
Full
I'm
Metal
gonna-
Alchemist.
I'm
He's
gonna
going
watch
to
it.
watch it.
Eventually.
It will happen. I got you on Code Geass after how many years? It will happen. But yeah, he is fucking broke. This kid is actually insane. My main
Oh.
inspiration for Ezekiel.
Oh, this bodes poorly for us.
Yeah, he doesn't do shadow powers. Ezekiel doesn't use shadow powers though, so you don't have to worry about that. That's but in universe it's borked. Like actually, like so stupid.
Sounds
Like you can
interesting.
like they basically what happened was Alphonse was able to trap him in like this sphere where there was only shadow and he couldn't like creep out of a shadow, like because he couldn't like slip through the ground.
Huh.
So like he was able to trap him in this like spherical, like almost like Gaara's like ultimate protection dome kind of thing.
Yeah.
And the only way he was able to get free was because fucking oh my god, what's his name? I forget his name, but he's like some dude with a philosopher's stone. He was able to like get close to the thing and break it, and then that released Pride again. But that was about it. Yeah, Pride is
Okay.
so stupid. All right, Acker's muted. I don't know if he's here. If he's not here, I guess we could just move straight back to you.
Okay. He'll be back. He'll be back. Who's
'Cause
next?
He's just gonna talk about Dio anyway. So let's be.
Speaking of JoJo, we just talked about this guy too, so we'll get him out the way.
Josuke.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's fucking
Josuke.
broke.
Crazy Diamond. First you think it only heals stuff, but no, it just rewinds basically anything.
Mhm.
Kills his mom, literally kills his mom to get the little water stand
With
out.
no remorse, mind you.
and
Like
then just
no remorse whatsoever. He just fucking shoved his punchy ghost's fist through his mom's abdomen without hesitation.
just revives her back to life.
But he can't revive his grandpa.
Oh my god. It's freaking Johto. This can't bring people back from death. That right after part. Whatever.
After part 3, where he literally brought his grandfather back from the dead.
Which made even less sense because all his brain cells were all anyway. We're not gonna get into Jotaro. I didn't have him on my list. I'm not talking about that character ever again.
I know you hate him. I don't blame you.
Yeah. We could be here forever just talking about all the BS
Also,
he pulls in part
super
four.
big brain. Remember when we're gonna talk about Highway Star again, but remember
Yeah.
when he was on the bike and then he punched the bike and it broke into a bunch of pieces?
Bro.
Then he jumped over the fucking baby and then the bike
What?
reformed around. Fucking
That was-
amazing,
was super sick.
amazing.
And okay, that scene was dope, right? But then, like immediately afterwards, his phone gets broken, and instead of fixing the phone, he steals another dude's phone. Like what?
It's just an excuse for Josuke to be a dick. Like,
Lucky. Unbelievable.
can't just punch the phone and it just like work again. No, of course not.
Jesus. Yeah.
That's
Josuke's OP.
Josuke. Yeah, for real.
I really like him too. Second favorite JoJo because Joseph is god tier.
Yeah, you really can't beat Joseph. I mean, personal preference. I like Josuke more. That's just
Mm.
because like I think he's the funniest dude. Just not in like what he says or like how he acts, but in terms of like the context of doing everything. Like, okay, you have Jonathan, who's like, oh, I'm a big gentleman or whatever.
Mhm.
Joseph is like, he's like a good guy, right? Like he does what he does. Jotaro is trying to save his mom. Josuke is just being a fucking dick around Morio. Like that's all he does, and it's so
Yeah.
great. And Okuyasu makes it way better.
Oh hell yeah.
Okay. What do I want to talk about now? You know what? Yeah, let's talk about this kid.
Oh my god.
Let's
I didn't
talk
expect
about
this, but
actually
yeah.
one of the most broken characters in all of anime.
Mr. Literally like 11 and a half dimensional Simon over here.
Yeah,
or
like
whatever it was.
literally chucks galaxies at the anti-spiral. Like grabs a galaxy and throws it.
He-
How do you
by
do
the-
that?
by
They're
the end of
clusters.
Well, it's because the universe they were fighting in, it was like I think the official name is it was a super spiral universe, and it was like a construct of like the team Daiguren's like spiral power and imagination. It wasn't like an actual galaxy, it was just like a construct.
Oh,
So-
okay.
But still, it was still like galaxy sized and shit. It was like a full on universe. So,
It's crazy. Chucking galaxies at each other and like beating like a literal like what would we say? What we say it was like 11th dimensional or something like that? Or
let me look real quick. I have the code so far.
I remember watching this video on YouTube, and it was talking about like all the different types of like giant creatures that show up in anime, and like at
Yeah,
the
the
very
super
top of
ga-
the list, it's fucking giant like ultimate like Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann at like
Yeah.
150 times universal height. Like it's just so fucking stupid. They literally fight on top of a universe. Like how do you beat that? He's so good. And it's all from the power of just like believing. Like it's just like I can, therefore I will kind of thing.
Spiral Power was the original Spider Link. Like, straight up.
Yeah, like straight up.
Dang.
It's super funny.
Yeah,
but
it
Simon
was,
is so crazy.
Even before like the Super Spiral universe in and of itself, I think it was described as like it was like an in-between universe, and it was like some universe between the 10th and 11th dimension. So like that's the level of power that Simon was fucking with by the end of the series.
That is actually so
He
crazy.
became so broke because the whole reason the anti-spirals were fighting the spirals is because the anti-spirals felt that the users of spiral power, especially the humans, because they were the best spiral power users, would become so great that each one of them would literally like turn into a black hole that would just start consuming the universe. And by the end of the series, Simon basically agrees with them because he stops fighting, period. Because he realized he got too strong. He has to let the next generation who's
Hi,
not
Drill.
high. Yeah, who's not as broken and not as much of a threat take over. So he retires because he's too broken. He wrote himself out of the series.
He's like, yeah, I'll
Man,
listen, I
imagine
have
if
to
we
write
actually had to
myself
do
out.
that because we got too broken.
Oh, it's almost like D-Freak's not part of this continuity.
No, D-Freak didn't retire. He just went up to the next plane of existence, which he can start out on the bottom of and work his way. It's literally going to be a stairway to whatever.
Fucking
heaven.
bro. The highest plane of existence is the All-Knowers. That's where Oryx's body is locked up.
Oh, that's why you remember that.
Yeah, that's the only reason why, because it correlates with me.
Simone's insane.
Actually insane.
He is absolute nuts.
Okay, now Akron.
Acheron, if you want to talk about Dio now, you can.
Dude, we all know about Dio. What's the point of talking?
Dio
How about
is
I talk
actually so
about
crazy.
Bone Daddy?
Bone
Oh,
Daddy.
Ainz. Oh,
Ainz? Oh
Ainz
yeah,
is
Ainz is
broken.
broke. Let's get Ainz. up in here.
Actually, funny enough, he's broke, but he's not as broken as you think he is. Just the
Big
thing
brain.
is, like, he's broken in context of the world he's now in. But in his original world, he was just a regular player character, probably at the same level of his other the other characters that were in his guild. But now that he's in this, like, here, let me get.
Here, I got him. I got you. Okay, never mind.
Stupid. Ooh, yeah.
Lord Momonga. There he is.
Buff
Infinity. Greater magic casting. Counter booster.
hardening. Oh no, greater hardening.
When you're about to fight a Maple Story boss.
So mind you, this guy
Bro, this is literally fucking
he-
Volcarona setting up.
This is all the quiver dances going off right here. But that's basically, like, he's broken in regards to the knowledge he has. He knows how all his magic from his previous game's life or so forth that literally transferred over, and everything that he's come up against so far, entire like armies and so forth, they don't have this level of magic. Like, they're at, like, imagine like you beat the post game and are transferred to this level 1, like back to the beginning with all your abilities. You're pretty damn busted, wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
New Game Plus shit.
Like, New Game Plus, you're at max level. Everything's still about level 130. That's what happened. The only people that ever gave him an actual challenge were all of his, like, the guild NPCs, because they transferred over at the same level they were before, which is close to his. The only fights, or the only actual fight you actually get to see him struggle with, is literally the Shaltir fight, which is at the end of season 1. And he played her like a fiddle because he knew, like, he had the knowledge to do so. But for everyone else, like, no one's come close to getting him, pretty much.
Yeah, especially not Clementine.
Clementine gets a nice hug.
A nice big hug. Jesus wants a hug.
Yeah, Bone Daddy's effectively broken in the world he's in, but
Nuts.
we have yet to see, like, him
Like
truly
actually
struggle.
go all out, which is kind
All
of
out.
crazy.
Aside from with Shaltir, he had to go out against her. But the thing with him is he was literally built for theatrics. His entire, like, how he leveled himself up in Necromancy, it's not even the most viable specs for him in this game. He literally just wanted to, live up to the fantasy of being a lich, a necromancer. And it's just worked out well because the theatrics carry over, or his theatrics basically intimidate the shit out of opponents into playing into his hands, his bony hands.
Okay, nice. All right, Maka, what you got?
Me will finish off. Oh, this is not the last JoJo character, but yeah.
Is it
so-
Jotaro?
Oh,
No, he's not talking about Jotaro. He doesn't want to.
Is it Majin Buu?
Fuck, how do I spell his freaking name?
What? Remind me who he is.
Is it Fugo?
Is it Pancata Fugo?
Oh, Chaos. Oh, yeah, the hand is busted.
Yeah, he'd be busted if it wasn't for the fact that the stand's owner's literally the dumbest piece of shit.
He has Hakai. Like, what else do you want to say?
Yeah, he just destroys anything he touches. It's just that maybe he accidentally touched his brain
He
at one
erases-
point because he doesn't have it. Like, he's fucking stupid, but like, oh,
Came
man.
up with like this one trick of erasing space doesn't even use that to the fullest, and like, yeah. I feel like he probably came up with the erasing space trick on accident too. Cause
He's like, oops, accidentally swiped left. Now my phone's gone.
oh no. Yeah, he's just here for his stand because obviously he could have been way more busted. But imagine like Joseph with this stand. It's nuts. Oh, I can't even delete.
Oh, okay, sorry, I had to get a drink.
Okay.
All right, where we at?
Okuyasi. Yeah, that's all I got. We know.
Yeah,
Okuyasi.
he's pretty straightforward. Like, hand delete, hand go brr. Like, it's pretty simple. Okay. All right, I finally get to go off on this character.
Who this? Who this?
Let's
Oh
talk
my
about
God.
slime. Let's talk about slime.
No,
No, this character, like, I don't think you
no.
understand. Like, this
No, I
character
don't.
is so busted in his own universe. So let's we never talked about Rimuru Tempest in any of our lists. So I'm gonna go
No.
off on it. So, slime is a isekai for those of you that don't know. It's yeah, whatever, isekais. Yeah, ooh, another one. Guy dies. He gets stabbed in the street. He was originally a businessman on Earth in Japan. Got stabbed on the street and died right there on the spot. He reincarnates as a slime with these really busted abilities. One of them being called.
Wait, is that X?
What's going on?
Oh, hey.
What the fuck?
Oh, you're here now? Shit.
Are we gonna RP? Oh,
We got it.
no, it's
I mean,
too
it's
late.
11 o'clock already.
It's too late. It's too fucking late.
Nonsense.
Fuck.
X's RP will only take 6 hours. We can do it.
Well, first
We
I
love
was
it.
doing Flair's person for doing an RP because he's been waiting to host. So
Yeah, it would be me anyway. But anyway, no, we're already doing this. It's fine.
what's the list?
We're just actually not really doing a list. We're just talking about broken characters that
Actually,
Dude,
low key,
X
wait,
is gonna
how-
be all Yu Yu Hakusho and Hunter x Hunter.
Flair, how late are you gonna stay up? Because I kind of want to hijack this.
I
key.
I actually don't know. Like, I don't know if I
Yeah.
go in early or late tomorrow.
Hijack.
Oh,
I'm,
dang,
I'm
that's-
probably going in at like 11. So
Okay.
we'll see. But I mean, we could do whatever. It's not a big deal. Anyway, I'm talking about Rimuru Tempest being
Hey,
a
you're
very
going off
broken
on
ass
Flair,
character.
I believe.
So he has this skill like called Great Sage, right? It's basically it's like if Siri became
Siri?
Siri, like the iOS Siri became a person that gave you more abilities and gave you the judgment of everything in the universe.
What?
Yeah.
But
Rimuru Tempest is pretty much omniscient, right?
Okay.
He also has a skill called Predator.
We're gonna start with omniscience. Cool.
Yeah, we're gonna start with omniscience. Because the other ones are more interesting. So he has this skill called Predator that the Great Sage gave him, and it basically lets him absorb anything. Literally anything, and copy its powers.
well,
Yeah. So, Predator, also he has self-regeneration. So if he gets like hit or whatever, he just regenerates back.
Okay.
Absorbing and dissolving, which come in form of Predator and Glutton. Glutton means he can eat anything, and Predator means he can literally hunt after anything. And then you know what's funny? In the manga, he gets even more busted. Like, it's kind of crazy. In the manga, he becomes a demon slime, which includes some of the following: infinite regeneration, control magic, multi-layer barriers, universal detection, universal shapeshifting, demon lord's hockey, dark
Demon Lord's what?
hockey,
Excuse me, as in like not that
conqueror's
hockey,
hockey.
what?
Yeah, so let's talk about infinite regeneration. It's an enhanced version of his previous regeneration. It works even quicker than the first one. So basically, if as soon as he gets hit and like a limb comes off, that shit's back.
How? What is the story? Like,
Yes.
what is the conflict here?
So the conflict is that he's trying to solve the conflicts that are in like the monster world. that like all these monsters are running around, and then there's like human like kingdoms and shit like that, and he basically becomes king of the monsters as a slime. But
Gogeta!
like under his like, and you know what's super funny? Like he's so broken, and then he has like these henchmen that are even more broken. Like you have Benimaru, which is like this this Oni / fire demon thing. Here, hold on, I'll pull him up real quick. Here's Benimaru, right? He's called the
The
Flare.
Flare Lord. Flare.
He like engulfed an entire country in fire, casually,
Cool.
and
Just
like
felt like it.
so, yeah, that just puts like Rimuru like on like the scale here. For context, by the way, one of his good friends, once he came into this monster world, her name was Shizu. Unfortunately died, and in order to preserve her memory, he like used the predator skill to absorb her body.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so like the body is right, like the human body that you see on the screen is what Shizu used to look like, but she's dead. So anyway, let's talk about universal detection, because that shit's busted.
Interesting.
It's a sensing skill that lets him basically detect anything. The Demon Lord's Haki. It's a skill that enhances monster's aura. So like you could just kind of like buff your other dudes, and like he is the king of the monsters, so he has other monsters under his wing, like Benimaru or Ranga, which is like his pet dog.
Mhm.
By the way, his pet dog is freaking this
Oh,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I've seen this thing. Okay.
giant ass wolf with a unicorn horn who has his own spells and like shit like that. Yeah, he can make that thing stronger. He has enhanced replication, spatial motion, and like he basically absorbed Ifrit in season 1 of the anime.
Oh,
He absorbed the god of fire.
this is a little OD.
Yeah, it's crazy, and the animation's awesome. Please watch Slime, but I'm not going to go on too long because we have other characters to talk about.
Maybe. Wait, I mean, Flare, do you think you're gonna stay up till 1?
Well, probably. I mean, I can't fall asleep past 2.
Okay, because I think I can get through if I don't mind just like switching up. I think I can get through the video game.
All right,
in 2
I'll start
hours.
another recording.
Okay,
Next
okay.
recording, we're gonna make this we're gonna make this 2 parts. Next recording is just gonna be me talking about Sinbad. So yeah, we'll see you guys later.
Oh my god.